alone. At that moment, Rosemary comes inside, still searching for her son. She's having a breakdown that causes her to take Luke's gun and fire before she falls to the floor in desperation. Not far from there, Paul lies on the street with his head heavily bleeding, but he still manages to crawl into a bus stop that still has power. Moments later in the pub, Rosemary has finally calmed down, and when James asks if she's a doctor, it makes her think about what happened the night of the tragedy. She had been outside having a cigarette break when suddenly all the lights went off and she heard some screaming and crashing noises. Afterward she ran home, only to discover the nanny and her son had vanished too. Rosemary explains that the baby's father used to drink in this pub, so she came to check if the man had brought him here. Suddenly the group hears a noise and comes out to see Paul shouting in the distance. At first Luke refuses to help him, but when Rosemary and James insist on doing the right thing, Luke decides to go after all. With a flashlight in hand, Luke runs to Paul as he ignores the shadows moving around him. When he makes it to the bus stop he immediately picks Paul up, only for his flashlight to stop working. The shadows begin coming closer, so Luke lights a sparkler and takes Paul to run back to the pub. Meanwhile James thinks he can hear his mom and tries to go out, but Rosemary stops him before he can open the door to the shadows. On the street, Luke falls and injures his ankle, giving the shadows time to surround them. Luke does his best to push Paul along, and luckily Rosemary opens the door to let light out, which keeps the shadows at bay and allows the men to get inside. Afterward, Luke puts tape on his injured leg while Rosemary takes care of Paul's head wound. Paul tells them what happened in the mall, saying that when his light went out, he was hit by an unknown being. Then he's sure he was taken somewhere, but when his light came back on, he found himself on the street. Luke doesn't believe Paul was taken, but Paul swears he was, saying it was too dark to see faces but he could hear whispers, yet he hadn't been able to scream, he could only fight to exist. Rosemary cuts in saying there must be a reason why they were chosen, perhaps it's a punishment from God. Frustrated, Luke grabs James and asks Rosemary if a child deserves to be punished, but they shut up when suddenly the lights start flickering. They can see the shadows moving, so Paul tells everyone to start disconnecting all the machines.